Hi, I'm Sam Shapiro, and I'm here showing a tour of the Camp Harkness Sensory Garden. Okay, Ben, you want to touch that? What do you think?
It smells like kind of like pine needles.
Well, it is a conifer, it looks like to me. Very small bush thing, but maybe it gets a lot bigger later. And then, don't know what that's called. Okay, can you smell the flowers? No, don't pick them, just no, go to a blooming flower.
That one
I
smells
didn't mean to
bad.
pick it. I was saying
Sorry.
don't pick it to actually.
This one
go
smells
down.
better than that one.
Well, you smelled the flower?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that actually is surprising that it would have that much scent when it's so little. Wonder what that's called. But I guess that makes sense. It's a sensory garden. You should have your senses involved. Okay, and then this is in the mint family. You can tell because it has mint-like leaves and also the square stems. It's actually four-sided stems rather than typical stems that are rounded. And those have a scent and taste. I don't know if it's cat mint or, no, probably not, but something minty, mint-ish. And here's some ornamental grasses that are very tall, maybe 6.5 feet tall.
Like 5 foot. Well, how far do you go next to it?
Well,
It's not.
I'm 5'8", which makes this about 6, so it's as high as I can reach roughly, so whatever that comes to, maybe 7, 8 feet. Okay, what else? Oh, this, look. Feel those leaves now. No, don't pick anything though. Okay, what do you think?
Soft.
Yeah.
Didn't look edible though.
Okay, then look at this little tiny conifer tree. Spruce, possibly? I'm not sure. I know native plants better than random non-edible plants. Okay. And this is some creeping ground cover, I guess. Another little conifer. Maybe they're planning to grow them a lot, although they're right next to this, so perhaps they grow small. And this thing. Okay, and then there's that. Possibly Queen Anne's lace got over here. And then we have, they did not plant this and maybe didn't plant that, but these heart-shaped leaves are yellow sorrel, which are sour, pretty tasty, no bitter quality. Or you can cook them to mild them up some. Apparently at night they have their solar light hopefully working. I don't know how much sun it gets, so it might not last too long being under a tree. And then they have decorations. At least today, this is Camp Harkness Fest day. We have books. If you're at the garden and you think you'd like to sit down and read books, you can do that. And a log, I'm not sure what you do with a log. Doesn't look like a good log for sitting on. Maybe it's just decoration. Okay, so there are more things here. It's fern-like. I don't know if it's an actual fern. Could be, yeah. Could be. Okay, then this stuff. It's a tour without all the names. Huh, that's interesting. Ben, do you want to smell this flower? very little scent. Okay, so lots of grasses. The mint family plant. The soft leaves. I haven't felt this. Oh, that is very soft. That's really impressive, actually. Really soft. Like, I mean, I've touched things like mullein, which is nice soft leaf, but these are really good, really soft. So that was surprisingly impressive. Don't know about that stuff. Mild scent. Here's a zinnia. Don't know this kind. Now this is like the same thing, but older of the plant. I said could be Queen Anne's lace. So this might be a Queen Anne's lace adult. Queen Anne's lace is the ancestor of the cultivated carrot, and they grow small white carrots, which are sweet, nice tasting, but seems maybe a bit challenging to get good flavor out of them. I mean, not flavor, good texture out of them, because they, unlike a cultivated carrot, at least the ones I've had, weren't so big with like easily eaten parts. What I mean by that is they're tough, a lot of strong fibrous components to it. So I'm imagining in a sensory garden to have a plant that is one of the softest leaves ever would be a good thing. That makes sense. And a butterfly, tiny butterfly, here it is. Oh, and there's a white one. Many people mistake white butterflies for moths. They're not moths, they're butterflies. Okay, here's goldenrod. And this little butterfly, I think it's called a skipjack, next to a wasp of, I don't know the name of that wasp. And there are a lot of pollinators enjoying this goldenrod, including a tiny bee or wasp. There's another kind of wasp. Okay, I just got really surprised by something. So what I was saying, maybe Queen Anne's lace, I had one seed I took, and it's a licorice taste, which means this is probably not Queen Anne's lace, and therefore not related to the plant I said earlier that looks to be Queen Anne's lace. I think the plant earlier was a wild plant that had appeared there, whereas this, I think it's fennel. The seed tastes like fennel, and it smells like fennel. Anise is another possibility, but I'm not as familiar with anise. So anyway, I'm going with fennel. Ben, come here. Taste a seed, please, and tell us what you think.
Tastes pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kidding.
Well, I think so, but I guess just in case, let's not have a bunch. But I mean, fennel.
I know this taste.
Yeah, well, you remember at Indian restaurants where they have those.
Oh yeah, this is what they use.
Yeah, or they're using anise seeds, but I think it is fennel.
Okay, we don't know.
Okay. And this one, I don't know. I don't know what this is. Okay. See this bee here? It's really large. People often mistake it for calling it a bumblebee, but it's not a bumblebee, it's a carpenter bee. They're bigger, considerably bigger, maybe 50% larger on average. Check the internet for more specifics. Like bumblebees, I find them gentle. You can pet them if you like, and just don't pick it up or something, because that could alarm it and cause it to react, possibly hurting you. Okay, and then here is, what's this called? Azalea, is it? This is the one that the flowers are one color if it's an acidic soil, but they'll change color if it's more of a base soil, alkaline. So it's interesting how you can actually change your flower color based on what you're feeding it or what soil is already there. Well, I mean, if it's there, you get a certain color, obviously, and then you can alter it by changing the pH of the soil. Okay, here's a nice flower. Is that a mum? Is this the kind that gets kind of like dries well and papery? I'm not sure. It looks like this could be the older version of that, and the leaves, the petals I mean, fell off, which makes me think these petals are not persistent and these are not the flower I just brought up. So okay, some other flower they decided to put in. Don't know about that. These look almost like they would hurt you, but they're not. They're just sharply toothed leaves, which don't hurt my skin. I don't know, is that black-eyed Susan or what? I'm not sure. And I'm guessing this is some sort of a bulb plant here. At least it has the characteristics of many bulb plants, it being these kinds of leaves. Oh, no, that's another sensory experience to hold those. Those appear to be milkweed. Looks like the pod came apart, and now you have all the fluffy parts. I'm not sure the name of those fluffs, but they're very nice and soft. Ben, you want to hold it? So those would be, they can, if you throw them in the air, if it gets any windy, they just float around, and that's how they spread their seeds. See, they're so easily able to float. Very nice. So I guess what happens here is the seeds will end up floating around, maybe landing on their lawn, and then they'll make plants and they'll get mowed and die. So I think it's reasonable, if someone really liked these a lot, they could take some seeds and plant them deliberately where the plants get to live instead of having them go out there and die. Any seeds that end up on the ground here, potentially, if they're not weeding them away anyway, will make some more milkweed appear. So milkweed is my best guess, but this is not the common milkweed that you find commonly, like in Connecticut. If I see a common milkweed, I'll include that in the video. Okay, this could be a weed like, I'm feeling for a characteristic that would indicate what it could be. It could be an Asiatic bittersweet, and I'm not talking about bittersweet nightshade, which is an invasive too. They're both actually invasives. Okay, this is another one of those flowers that they plant, and I don't know the name, but I do know it's in the mint family. Wow. And it's got a sweet scent to it. Sweet and a little of I guess I would say minty, although the question is, if I didn't know it's in the mint family, would I still say that? We are so biased by what we see. Even give somebody a fruit that's a certain color, and they just tend to go right for comparing it to other fruits of the same color. So that's interesting. bit of a strong, almost spicy flavor. Could be edible or could be poisonous. I don't know. So I spit it out. So yeah, there's another, I guess, commonly planted flower of some sort. More goldenrod, more of black-eyed Susan or something that somehow resembles it. Oh, you know, I didn't say what these are called. All right, these, for the sensory experience, if you touch them, you'll find they're a little sharp, and an old one is particularly sharp. It is enough that I could scratch my skin, especially this skin. Now the thumbs here are a little tougher, so they are more resistant to getting scratched. They don't seem to get scratched, but yeah, I think I could. That hurts a little on the back of my thumb. What, Ben?
Got scratched.
You got scratched?
I think it was by it.
That's a sharper one if you're trying to get scratched. If you're trying to get the pain part of the sensory garden experience. Oh, and the name of these, I believe these are Echinacea. I think Echinacea is a genus. If so, then these are one of the species of Echinacea. And if it's not a genus, then I don't know. I'm not sure what else it would be. It'd be a family, but I don't think so. I don't think it's a species. I think Echinacea encompasses numerous species. Now this probably was not planted here. It looks like onion grass, which is kind of a garlicky, oniony flavored greens plant. But I do see here, this could be the same, although they look different. So these are thin leaves poking straight up, and these are broader leaves. Yeah, but then again, is this broad? Not really. It's kind of curled together or something, or spherical, almost like a round, cylindrical. So I don't think they're the same. I mean, onion grass is my guess, although this time of year I don't recall that onion grass should be out, so I'm not sure. But I can tell you it's an allium. Actually, I'll tell you for certain by tasting it. Yeah. Yeah, it tastes a little more. That's not, I don't think it's onion grass. It's so mild. I don't know. I'm a little confused by what that is. As for these appear to be something I'm growing at home. Whether a chive or garlic chive or whatever. These have those broad leaves that I would come to expect. But let's be sure here, I'll taste it. Quite mild too. A little confusing how mild these things are. So I'm not sure what to say about that. I think that seed has a oniony flavor, which you would expect from an allium. So I'm gonna say, without being able to know for sure, I'm gonna still go with onion grass on this. There's a lookalike for onion grass that's not at all oniony called Star of Bethlehem, and that doesn't look like a Star of Bethlehem to me. Although this time of year you could see them. But maybe the onion grasses can be around this time of year. And this I'm going to go with garlic chive or chive of some sort. Okay, anything left? Oh, they have a seat here. Ben, you want to demonstrate the seat?
On the seat.
Does it work?
Yeah, but there's no point in using it.
Well, there could be a point. Let's say you wanted to sit down and look at the plants or smell them or whatever, touch them. Wouldn't that be nice?
You can probably find a better seat like over there or something.
Well, let's see. This seat, the view is this. And if you like these purple flowers, you'd be really happy. And if you want to touch them, these are fluffy. So that could be fun. You could actually sit and touch at the same time. They're that close. And then on your right, you can look at the grass. And on your left, look down the path and see other things. You can watch the bees. Almost every time someone tells me they were stung by a bee, I don't believe them. I mean, it happens, but it's rare. Almost always it's a wasp. They get blamed. The bees get blamed. It's unfortunate. Is that like insect bigotry or something, or prejudice, or what would be the term, the technical term? I'm not sure. All right, this sign says lavender. And if you look at it, you'll see that doesn't look at all like the same thing. So, let's see, lavender, right? It doesn't look the same, does it? Ben, does that look the same? Or maybe it does look the same. Maybe it's just that there's so many together.
No, it's been in the sun though, because
all right, let me bring that to me, please. Okay, let's have
the
a
color
quicker,
changes when it's in the sun. So you could just zoom in with the phone.
Yeah, that's another way. It says extra early double flowers on dwarf plants. That is not the same.
Because it's been
Colors, no, it's not just the color. Look, this is really large flowers. This is particularly late blooming, I suppose. But anyway, petunia. I'm used to petunias blooming months earlier, but I can't see what else this would be besides petunia. Petunias people often stake them up, and they did that here. Yep. The reason is, unfortunately, petunias are, they cannot hold their own weight, especially those big flower heads, which makes me wonder and actually expect the issue is people have changed them through cultivating. They were able to get the flowers really large, but they weren't at the same time able to get the plant to support the flowers. And it's always possible these plants did that on their own, and they're supposed to plop down on the ground. I don't know what the evolutionary use of that would be, but I'm doubtful of that. I just don't think so. All right, what's this here? Maybe some kind of spurge? Is it a conifer? See, this has a conifer look to it, but I don't think they're actually conifers. But it could be. So if you look up spurge, you might find they have these little leaves, or leaflets more technically. Well, it could be a conifer. I don't know. They don't smell like any oh, look at that. There's a white latex coming out of it, like a milkweed. No, this is not a milkweed. I think spurge has a white latex. And it may also be highly toxic, in which case you could, if you taste it even a tiny bit, it could produce a painful burning sensation. Well, if someone loves super hot peppers, they might be quite interested to try that out.
Try it out?
I don't recommend it, no.
Why?
Because if it hurts, and I don't think, I mean, if you have the tiniest amount, you should be okay, but I don't think it's worth dealing with that. I'd want you to rinse your mouth out with a lot of water if you're going to do it anyway.
Okay.
So I don't want you to do it.
Oh.
Oh, there's a locust. Many people call them grasshoppers when they're not. They fly really well, unlike grasshoppers. And some locusts, like the one you saw, have quite the nice color patterns in their wings, their under wings, the wings that are underneath that really cause the flight to happen.
Well,
Okay, well that is an interesting sort of seat thing you're on, Ben.
yeah.
Do you want to go back to it again?
No.
Okay.
There's more to go.
All right, so
Okay.
here is a common milkweed. You know, unless possibly they planted one that looks similar, but otherwise, although it's unusual to have all the leaves off of it like that. That's very unusual. But they could have done something to it, or an animal possibly. But we should see, well, okay, so I'm not going to say common milkweed. I'll just say it's a milkweed. Okay, oh, now that's nice. Look at the purple on one side and the green on the other side of whatever that plant is. And look at all that. Those are called variegated leaves, where they have the multicolor. I think that is probably something that people have cultivated. I think often variegated leaves have been cultivated by people. But, you know, there could be some exceptions. So here's a zinnia area. I see they have a flower focus in this area. And this is a marigold. In Connecticut, if you let this go to seed, typically the seeds will not survive the winter, but you could bring the seeds in and use them the next year and you'll have them again. Here's parsley. I believe it's called Italian parsley, which I think it's a nice parsley. I don't know, sometimes a flat leaf seems to get greater respect. I don't know what that's all about. What was that, a caterpillar or something? Yes, it is a caterpillar. Okay, well, I don't think it's doing much damage to the plant. I don't know if they use these plants for eating or what they do, so I've just put the caterpillar back. Oh, that's pretty. At least in real life, it has a sort of a pink-red color. It's pretty vivid. All right, this is a thistle. Which thistle? I'm not sure. There's both thistles, one of the thistles out there, which might be an invasive. I'd be surprised if they want to put an invasive here or allow it to grow, but you never know. Like milkweed, it has these that carry off the seeds. But milkweeds have even, at least most milkweeds seem to have larger, fluffy stuff that carries the seeds around. And the seeds are larger, quite a lot larger than on the milkweeds. This is our final area here. This here is a butterfly bush. You can see one purple flower there. And they get lots of purple flowers and attract lots of butterflies, and they attract some other pollinators too. You can see they're keeping symmetry with the butterfly bushes because they had two of them at the entrance to this area. And they have, see, there's other symmetry too, like these super soft fluffy plants are on both sides. But then it's different here. We have these, which appear to be some bulb plants, and then over here we have this, what is it? the one that it's not in the mint family, but it has quite a scent to it, like kind of like oregano or mint would have a scent, but it's not. I don't believe it's either one. It doesn't have the square stems, and oregano is in the mint family, so it should have a square stem too. Okay, then this one, oh, we've seen those. These were the soft flower buds. And good amount of scent. Maybe the scent is because there's a bunch of buds. They have a little scent. Okay, then we have this here. It's blackberry. I'm guessing this was growing there wild. So if you're lucky, you're here the right time of year, you can eat some blackberries. Oh, and here we have a lot more flowering butterfly bush. And then if you need to sit, you get shade here. It's always nice in the really hot summer under this roof from this gazebo. The roof up there. And then you're surrounded by all these plants. Like this plant, this shrub. I don't know what it's called. And that plant there, see, it looks like a small tree. But you notice how the trunk is, it goes way up, and then suddenly you have all the rest of the plant. Without looking for a grafting point in detail, I would say that might be, no, I would say I think it is something where they combine two trees into one or something. I don't know if the insects appear. There's a whole swarm of insects. So what are they? They're not mosquitoes. They're not going toward me and trying to bite or anything. So they're not like annoying gnats. They're moving in interesting patterns. And a butterfly flew through them, a monarch, I think, if I got it right. Okay, and they just have a few decorations here. Okay, so I think that concludes the tour. So
That's about it.